back, guys. We are working on Mickey's car a little bit more. Got the parts in for the vet. I'm gonna get back on it probably later today, but I want to get the turbo mounted where we're gonna put it on this car. And we also been working on the cross member, the transmission cross member, got it completed. And once I pull the nose off this thing, and you know, I might show you that a little bit later in this video. Got our little stand right there. The heater is very loud, so I'm gonna try to talk loud. A guy asked me how I made this the other day. You know, it's just simple: a piece of tube and a tab. That way you can put the turbo anywhere you want it. Make sure you build your stand where you can have your Maven support. Those guys that, or those of you that use this, if you don't use it, you're missing out. But make it where you can leave that on. That way you can build your tube directly to it, and you don't have to take that off when you remove your stand. But I think that's where we're going to put the turbo, kind of at a 45. Make it where if we wanted to cut some kind of airflow inlet here to get air in there, we could, where you can kind of see it. I try to clock all this stuff like I think it's going to be. This is how I think I'm going to do it. The downpipe over here has plenty of room to get out, which I'll kind of revamp all this stuff when I pull the nose off, but just showing you kind of how I get in here and make sure it's going to clear everything before I lock in where I'm going to put it. So we get Joey and we're going to pull the nose off. We got the car set on the locks on the lift, and got this thing set where I want it. So we're going to build a support pipe to it where it can hang by itself and gust it up and stuff. And might do a single side mount, not sure yet. We've kind of got a perfect layout over here for it. I was going to tie the tube from the fuel tank, which is going to go right here. I was going to tie that in to the other side of this, but I think I might not. I think I might just do a single tube coming off the frame tube here, and then do a little upright gusset that grabs this, and I think it'll be perfectly fine. So let's get the front off and see what we got. Look with the front end off. Like I said, I'm going to come in here with a tube and then gusset from the side, and then that's where it's going to be. And after we get the fuel tank in place right here, probably tie in from there to the fuel tank support, just so the front end has some type of support that goes all the way across, because I don't like that support there. It's not going to really work, because you'd have to put it way back here to get behind the turbine to go straight across. But still want to tie those frame rails together, that way everything's kind of locked in. Let's raise it. Joey picks on me all the time. I always come back here to the scrap bin, and obviously that's too thick, but got a bunch of stuff in here just like that. 065 already bent. We'll take it in here and hold it up, and that might be our piece. So don't never throw away the scrap. Our scrap piece, and looks like we're almost a perfect angle that we need. Just got to trim some leg off. That's a win. So I forgot to mention one important thing about this little turbo fixture that people always ask about is the tab is level. So when the car's on the lift, if you've got it on the lift level, you mock up the turbo and your floor is level, you never have to worry about your Maven mount or anything, you know, being crooked, because it's always going to be level. That's one less thing you have to check. So we got our support fixed up here. This is actually a gusset from one of our mock-up roll cages that I dug out of the scrap bin. You seen me go back there and find this tube. I was able to find that too. So saving time everywhere. But that should hold it really tight. That turned out really slick. Like I said, eventually we'll have another tube coming from here up to the tank support, and then, you know, we'll work with that like that. But for right now, turbo is in place. And I'm gonna have to hunt down my other bolt because I took one of them out and exchanged it for a longer one. We'll just go with one for right now. I think we're going to end up running the grub worm style fuel cell here. I'm going to go ahead and have Cody make one of those so we can go ahead and get that mocked up, get that in place. And the goal is to kind of have this put together in the next few weeks, so when Mickey comes and checks out the progress of the car, he'll have some stuff to look at and check out whenever he's in town. So short video, but just some updates on Mickey's ride and kind of what's going on. I'm going to take a short break on this and get back on the vet and get it knocked out so Kevin and them can get that back and pull the motor and do all this they got to do on that. So check you next time.